What is up, guys, and welcome back to the Sweat It Out podcast. Today we have a special guest all the way from Austin, Texas. This man is a true entrepreneur, founder and CEO of Sael Wellness. Please help me welcome the one and only Connor Saeli. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, guys?
How's it going?
Love the intro music, getting me fired up over here.
Woo!
That's what we're all about, dude. We're here to motivate.
Man, I love getting all these brownie points every time with my guests. Yes. So how things going for you, man? I know. You're in Texas, in Austin.
Keeping it weird.
Trying to. It's an interesting city for sure.
It's changing every day. I can imagine too, man. You know?
Yeah. I lived in Dallas for a bit and moved here in September. And it's a lot different than Dallas. So it's crazy the difference between two cities in Texas. They're only like 2 or 3 hours from each other.
So what do you like and don't like?
So a big thing for me is like outdoorsy activities, like hiking, biking, all of that stuff. And there's a lot to do here in Austin versus Dallas, which I love. The biggest thing I hate about here is the construction. It's terrible. In my building that I live in, there's a building, I can see it right now, that they're building. And for some reason in Austin, you can pour concrete at 2 a.m. I don't know if this is allowed in other cities or what, but they can construct at 2 a.m. And I don't understand why that's even allowed, but that's definitely the biggest downside for sure.
Unreal. It's so weird to like see the dynamics too, because even here in Miami, like where Mendez is at, I live on South Beach and he's all the way in South Miami, and you couldn't find two different demographics. True. You know, it's only maybe like 20 minutes away.
Yeah. As you can clearly see, we're two different demographics.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, we're a little different. I don't know. Do you want some of my tattoos? I could give you some.
You want some of my hair?
Oh, fuck. The beard. I could use the beard. I don't know.
Yeah, I could use a little beard over here.
Man,
too.
I'm so jealous. I made him cut it a while ago because it was really bringing me down, the fact that like I have all these patches here and he just had this voluptuous.
But then after I cut it, he's like, bro,
you look like you're 12.
He's like, oh, you should have not cut it. You should not cut it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So, man, tell us a little bit about how you got things started with what you do. Tell us about your wellness background. You know, obviously there's a lot of listeners on here that, you know, preach the wellness or enjoyed learning more from the wellness community. So let us know how that started for you and kind of how you got to where you are today with your company.
Yeah, definitely. So I had always been pretty interested in kind of like being healthy and fit and all that stuff. And it didn't, because I swam in college for a couple of years. But it didn't really start where I started like taking it very seriously until about a year and a half after graduating college, when I was working. I was working in finance, pretty stressful job. I mean, long hours, and it really affects your mental health, your physical health, and all of that stuff. And so I just reached the point where I was like, you know what, I'm not happy doing this. And I know I don't see myself doing this 5 years from now. And what do I really care about? I care about eating healthy, being healthy, and let me go try and start a business in that world. And so I just walked into work one day and was like, you know what, I think I'm kind of done with this. And I just quit. It's a very liberating feeling to do finally after being there for a while, but you kind of just reach that point, and it's the point of no return a little bit, and you just got to dive in deep and go for it. And while I was doing that, I was like, you know what, if I'm going to quit and like go start my own business, let me try and get in the best shape of my life over the next few months as well. Just go like all in, kind of change, you know, what I'm doing and make myself into a better person. And got a trainer who is awesome. And she like completely, I guess, changed me, not just physically, but I think a lot of the workouts we did were more mentally challenging than physically. And that just completely changed my perspective on life and fitness and health and everything. And
what's the name of your trainer?
Her name was Becca.
Shout out to Becca.
Becca Day. She's a beast. But we did that. And then it was funny, 2 weeks after I quit work, I randomly got a phone call from the Bachelor producers, and they were reaching out, see if I wanted to be on the show because someone had nominated me without telling me.
Solid. That's got to be the
I'm
best.
gonna have to do that to Josh.
Yo, this girl that I knew from Syracuse was on the Bachelor one time.
Oh shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, her name's I don't know if I want to dead name her like that, but I'll tell you after the podcast.
Just detonate it, man.
Yeah,
Just put it out
no,
there.
because it was like
kidding.
it was a interesting introduction she had to the show.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
Oh,
gotcha.
really?
yeah, I'll tell you after.
Well, now the fact that you said that, I think people are gonna know which one.
I mean, they're all pretty intriguing. I'm sure you had a fucking field day like being a part of that.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fun experience, but nothing really prepares you for going on reality TV. I mean, it looks fun and like kind of crazy, travel the world and everything, but like the emotional and mental stress you go through while being there, it's incredible. And I think that's something when you watch it on TV, you don't really realize what these people are actually going through, because it's kind of like a giant psychology experiment when you think about it. I mean, you have these like 20 people that are basically locked up for 2 months, don't have their phone, can't communicate with anyone from the outside world, are only allowed to talk to one girl. Naturally there's going to be a lot of drama and like stress and everything. So it's crazy, man. But
how do you cope with that?
Definitely. I don't know. You just kind of got to like enjoy the experience and take a step back and like not take it too seriously a little bit, but still kind of try and figure out like, do I like this girl? Why am I here and everything? And it really hits you the last week I was there, which was right before you potentially bring this girl to meet your entire family. Wow. And I had spent 3 hours with her over the course of a month and a half. And I was like, I don't even know her. I'm not going to bring her home to my family and like introduce her. And they're going to be like, so like, tell us about her. What do you know?
Like, she smells good.
I know as much as you do.
Her hair's pretty.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's a really weird dynamic, but because you have such limited time and this is the only girl you're focusing on for 2 months, you feel like you're in love. You really do. Now, are those feelings real when you get done with the show? I don't know. You kind of got to.
I feel like it's a coin. It's usually a coin flip, right?
What's the ratio? Like,
yeah,
I'm curious. What's the ratio? Like,
can we look that up?
Right.
On The Bachelor, there's been 25 seasons. I think there's only one couple still together.
Geez.
Great odds.
I think there are some other couples where the Bachelor chose a different girl. So like he had his final girl and then he switched at the end. Wow. So I think a couple of those are still together, but it's crazy.
They let you do that? They're like, all right, just for the show, like you pick this one girl or you pick this one guy because like America loves them or America hates them and like we need some drama, but then you can have like the real person you want?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, hey, the show's all about drama, and if that's going to bring some more drama into it, then
yeah, it is. Sure. All right, now because we are on this, and I know we're going to jump into other topics, but I got to ask, what was the craziest and wildest experience that you had on that show?
Oh man. I mean, it's all pretty wild, but I guess in like the fitness, like sports kind of world, when we were in Scotland, we did our group date that we were on. We did the Highland Games, and I don't know if you guys are familiar. with that.
Yeah.
We had to dress in like a kilt, the full like Scottish Highland Games outfit, and keep in mind it's like 15 degrees out. Woo. And I guess the tradition there is you're not
no underwear. Yeah, no underwear.
So, I mean, it was freezing, man. It was freezing.
Marble balls, bro.
Yeah, but one of the activities is you do this wrestling thing where you like lock arms, I think, and you have to like wrestle the person to the ground. And there was the kilts kind of flipped up a lot of the time and flashed the entire crowd. So that whole experience was pretty crazy for sure.
That's got to be an interesting time. I want to dive back into the wellness side of things because I'm pretty intrigued. Like you mentioned, obviously going off on your own and starting your own business. For a lot of people getting into like the health and fitness realm especially from other types of industries, it can be very overwhelming, and a lot of people tend to fizzle out or they fade out of the industry. How were you able to really find sustainable success? Because it is a very difficult competitive industry to get into, especially coming at it from not being in there full time right from the jump.
And I know you were taking us through your story build up, so I know that can kind of already tie in with how we were taking things. So definitely interested in knowing. Yeah.
So I'm a big believer that the best business ideas come from looking at your own life and problems in your own life. And so this idea came from me being on the show. I slept terribly when I was on the show. Everyone does, because there's a lot of stress, anxiety. You get woken up really early in the morning. I mean, it's long hours, and that leads to more drama and everything down the road. But after the show, it's stressful watching yourself on TV and everything. And I still didn't sleep well. And, once the show was over and done airing on TV, I was like, okay, I wanted to start a business before this. Let's get back to that. So I thought of problems in my life, and sleeping was a big one. I was like, okay, let me try a bunch of products. We'll see what works, what doesn't. What I found is there's kind of a lapse in the market of, there's like sleeping pills you can take of melatonin and other things, but people are getting sick of taking pills all the time because it feels like you're taking medicine. And there's this big movement towards gummies and kind of funner ways to get the same nutrition. And, I ended up just reaching out to a couple people on LinkedIn and got connected with the right folks who kind of knew the industry and helped guide me towards, what products to start and go out with. And, that's kind of how it all started. And we got connected with a cancer doctor as well, who formulated all of the products. So they're all very, very high quality and have good ingredients in them, but they're also fun and easy to take too. So I think for the long-term success thing, one, you got to find a business that you are passionate about yourself. And I think solving a problem that you have can help create that for you, because you're passionate about solving it for yourself. You're probably going to be passionate about solving it for someone else. So 100%. That's one thing. And then the second thing too is, and I think I heard you guys talk about this on a different podcast or on social media, but when you're trying to start a business and sell to people, you have to own that and get people to trust you, right? And so that was something I was very naive about at first. I came off the show, had all these Instagram followers, and was like, this is going to be so easy. You can just easily convert all these people to sales and, retire in a year or whatever. And once we launched, quickly realized it's like, okay, that's not the case for sure. Yep. So, had to kind of turn towards more traditional avenues of marketing it, and try to kind of present myself as more of a health fitness type of person that people could actually trust on this stuff. So I think those are two really important things that kind of can create more long-term success for that.
100%. And you nailed it. I think one of the biggest things you said, and we talk about all the time, is you have to build trust with your audience. And I think a lot of people go into this game thinking, well, I have a following, I have followers, my content looks good. Okay, great. They're going to follow my lap. And we said all the time.
I thought that.
Right. Yeah, and nothing.
Yeah, I thought that. I've been in the industry 7 years by the time I got online. I was like, I'm going to fucking murder this. 2 sales. I was like, shit.
But nothing in life falls on your lap. I don't care how big you are. And I'm not saying that, when you get to a certain level, yes, it does help. But I've even heard from really big names, celebrities, all this stuff, the amount of work, believe it or not, they have to put behind the business that they're starting, because it isn't just like that. Especially when you're selling something that's quality and might cost and has a high cost, I don't care who you are. People will still be like, do I trust him? Do I trust the brand? Even if I know the name, you got to have that interconnection with that person, show that you care, relate with them, so that way they can be like, oh, okay, now I trust what they're doing. Now I trust in the product.
Yeah, there's too many products out there to begin with, right? So people are already being pulled in a million different directions. How are you gonna attract their attention?
Yep.
And a part of that does come through credibility and actually owning what you're trying to put out there.
So what's the biggest thing that you said has separated you from others or your competition? What has separated you with your product, and what has separated you with your marketing?
Well, so it's interesting on the business, and I'll fill you guys in on kind of the update with it in a second. But I think one of the biggest things is I think instead of us trying to make a quick buck and create like a product that people are just going to go buy and then, cash out on the business. There was actually like, it was me behind it and I cared about it and it was a problem in my life. And I think when we were marketing it, it was easy for me to talk about it to people because I could speak to it myself and how it helped me. And I think in any business, having someone behind it that really owns the business and the product is super important and can separate you from a marketing standpoint, instead of just throwing out Facebook ads and other stuff like that. So I think that was a big thing. I think the other thing too is just for me personally, having such a big, working in finance for a couple of years and just kind of being over it after a while and knowing that, okay, if I want to get to the point in my life where I want to be in 5-10 years, like I can't be doing that. I need to go start a business or be more entrepreneurial or whatever. I really owned the business and kind of went all in with it. And, I think that's the biggest mistake a lot of entrepreneurs make when they do start a business is, like you were saying, you kind of go into it and you think like, oh, this is going to blow up overnight. I'm going to be rich, cash out, leave, all of that. And that rarely happens, very rarely happens. And when you do launch and you sell 2 units, it's a big slap in the face to you. And it's like, okay, are you going to keep doing it and push through it? Or are you going to give up and go back to what you were doing before? And I think it's very few people that are resilient and actually get up and keep pushing forward. And those are the people that you see build these billion-dollar, super successful businesses. It doesn't happen overnight. You have to keep grinding. And it's tough, but it's, you can make it happen for sure.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And I'm going to tell you something. People will sit here, analyze your page and be like, the thing is, Connor's been on The Bachelor. Connor has this. But you know what? How about you tell these people how much time you put into your business behind the scenes? Because I'm sure you put a lot of time into your work to perfect it, to make it as best as possible, high quality. Because a lot of people, especially starting off young as entrepreneurs who are scared to go into entrepreneurial world, they feel that they don't have an edge because, man, they only see this and this and this. But yet little do they know that you're actually putting a lot of time into it. Like you said, the followers didn't just land on your lap. So what does some of your day-to-day look like? I think that would be great for you to share with some of the young entrepreneurs here.
Yeah, 100%. Well, so especially when we were launching, I thought of the idea in October, November of 2019. From that point until we launched, it was very early March of 2020. I was working till probably like 10 p.m. every night. Just like, and that's what people don't understand. When you start a business, you might be an expert in finance or marketing, but if you start a business, you got to learn all that stuff unless you have the money or someone else that can do those things. Yep. And everything kind of ended up falling onto my lap. So building the website, which I knew nothing about, marketing, which I knew nothing about. I knew finance, but there isn't a ton of finance work necessarily when you're starting a business. You got to create the product, which I knew nothing about, the branding, labeling, everything. And it's very stressful at times because if you're doing it alone, it's a lonely process and there's no one to really bounce ideas off of and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, it is such a grind. And I think the thing too, people see, these social media influencers or people from The Bachelor, people that have a bunch of Instagram followers, and they start these businesses and they think, oh, this person probably just has a team of people doing it. They're just the face of it, blah, blah, blah. That is not the case at all of what I did. I built and worked on every single thing that you see on that business today. So I think it makes it a lot more rewarding once you actually do launch, because there's a product and a business you put a lot of work into and can show people. And I think that shows once you do launch to your customers. You're not just basically promoting an ad, you're promoting a lot of hard work that you put into something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I feel like once people actually get into your program and once people actually dive into your content and get to know you, they start to really realize the type of work ethic that you have. If you're one of those people, like us three who are out there really grinding every day and really putting forth the best effort, that's noticeable, right? And when you're dogging it, that's also noticeable. Like you were saying, before maybe you weren't living this holistic wellness experience that, full from the time you woke up to the time that you went to sleep, right? And I've even found that, as of recently, I've really tried to take the same type of initiative and really put forth effort to be the person who I always tell people that they need to be, just like you, I kind of came to a realization like, well, no one's going to follow me if I'm not leading from, from the back, trying to push them all forward with me, instead of trying to just, follow along.
No, 100%. And just an update on the business, actually. So we launched March of 2020. And, I've been busy working on a bunch of other projects too. And I'm a big believer in, if you're going to do something, go all in with it. Boom. And don't, I think a lot of times people spread yourself thin and work on 20 different projects, which is great if you're good at multitasking, doing that. For me, I got to focus on like 2 or 3 things and go 100% into those. And so I was kind of trying to figure out, what I wanted to do with all the stuff on my plate, all the different projects. And it turned out that right before Christmas of this year, a couple people reached out to me and were interested in buying the gummy business from me.
Great.
And it all kind of just worked out really well, actually. I've been telling people it's a little bit of a Christmas miracle in a way. But I ended up selling it right before Christmas of this year.
There you go.
Yeah, so it's been great. It all turned out really well, and been able to focus on, a bunch of other things I got going now. So it was super rewarding starting it and growing it. And I would say that it's a pretty rare story amongst like businesses. It kind of just turned out to be the right situation for it. Was super happy with the outcome for sure.
Well, first of all, congrats. That's
that's massive, man.
And second of all,
every entrepreneur's dream.
Oh yeah. Look, you have to have an exit.
I'm not retiring.
He's like, hold up, guys, hold up.
But you got that taste of success. That'll make you a little more hungry.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to ask you, how was that process like for anybody who is planning on exiting their business or wants to in the future? How did that process look like for you? How was the feelings? And then what were some of the things you had to like have in place for that to go through? Because I know that's a question a lot of people might ask them. So, man, if I'm exiting, what do I have to do? How does this get ready? What is the right amount? Am I getting what I deserve? Am I getting gypped? What is that process look like? And then how is that feeling of experience for you?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good question. And I would say that this was a pretty informal process, just because it was a couple guys that happened to reach out to me. And, I think sometimes you don't really know you're ready to sell your business until you get the right offer and you're like, okay, wow, I didn't realize that. But then I think there's other times, which I would say is a little more my case, where the business almost becomes kind of a weight on your shoulders a little bit. And it brings more stress than enjoyment. And I think, there's ups and downs in running a business all the time, and not saying that selling it is always the right thing to do. Say most times it's every stressful moment's a great learning experience to work through. But for me, I think it was just the right opportunity, and the amount of joy, I think it's a very bittersweet moment when you sell it. Because it's like this product that I've spent hours working on over the last year and a half and have put so much time and effort into. And I care a lot about it. I mean, it has my last name as the name of it. It's like your baby a little bit. And so to actually sell it, it's very joyful. It's like, wow, this is awesome. 26 years old and sold a business. Woo! But then it kind of hits you like, wow, this is something I've put a lot of time into. And I don't really think there's an amount of money that will ever be enough to pay you back for all of the effort and time you put into something. But I think at a certain point you gotta just kind of realize like, okay, I got to move on to the next thing. I know that's going to make me happy. And I think at the end of the day, the happiness and what is best for you is more important than, how much money you're getting from something.
100%, man. 100%. So you mentioned it has your last name in it. Are you doing still anything with them, or is this just full on control on their end? Do they still have you on there, like either as a consultant or doing some work with them, or just that's it?
So I've helped a little bit. And when I did sell to them, I said, look, I want you guys to be successful. I think it's a great business. It has my name in it. Like I want it to work out. So I said, like, if you want to use pictures of me, or if I can be helpful in any way, you just let me know. Cause I do want to see them be successful with it. So that's kind of where that's at now. But then, I'm working on right now a hydration product, actually. So that's a new business we've got going. We're actually going to Los Angeles on Friday of this week to meet with the manufacturer.
Super cool.
Try out the samples. So
like exciting. An electrolyte drink, or what are we talking about here?
Yeah, it's like an electrolyte drink, similar to probably Liquid IV.
Oh yeah.
Similar to that, but I would say ours is going to be on the healthier end of the spectrum. So that's exciting, and then have a clothing kind of athleisure brand.
Nice.
That's huge right now, man. The athleisure wear is huge.
Yeah, so I'm investing in that one. So
nice.
What's the name of the two companies?
So the first one's secret right now. We'll be launching soon, I think, especially with some marketing stuff.
Okay.
So we'll let you know on that one.
That's for the next podcast you come on.
That next podcast. And then the clothing brand is called Fox and Robin.
Okay, I have to check that out. You gotta send Mendes some gear, dude. I've been trying to get him some better fits and some.
This guy's always hating on my gear. Well, that's because he only buys $200 shirts.
Yeah, he shits on me for like actually having a little bit of style, and then he wears free shit all the time.
I don't have any style either, so if you got any tips, let me know.
I have zero tips. I just listen. I just listen to
like spending money.
I just listen to like fashion podcasts and think I know what I'm talking about. Make memes. No, but I'll definitely have to check it out. Fox and Robin is what it's called.
Yeah. They launched. It's basically this kid out of college for a few years, and he launched. I want to say last summer. Didn't do any marketing or anything, but he's been super successful with it. So he's raising some money to kind of blow it up a little bit bigger. They're adding a women's line in there as well. So
short shirts, like tees,
right now,
lounge pants.
Short shirts, joggers, sweatshirts,
awesome,
all that stuff. They're trying to turn it into a bigger thing, and there's a big emphasis on like environmental and social responsibility with it, which I like. And it's cheaper than Lululemon, so that's always a big plus for me.
That is true. When you can compete with Lulu and have cheaper prices, that is a plus for everybody.
Yeah.
So going back to your hydration product, what gave you the inspiration to chase that and want to pursue that? What was that? What was it that called you? The same way you said, hey, the lack of sleep in The Bachelor made you want to do the gummies. What gave you that inspiration for this product?
Yeah, so I think once you kind of immerse yourself into an industry and build connections, which for anyone listening, I think building connections and networking with people is the most important thing you can do.
Let's go.
Big facts.
Because you have no idea what opportunities are going to come your way, and you never know who you're talking to and what they do, who they know. So always recommend that. But
Josh might be your new clothing line model.
Yeah, I think I'm too ugly for that. I would highly suggest against that. If for your sales sake, I would highly suggest against that. Maybe a back cover model.
There we go.
Maybe you can put me on like the back side, but like the inside part of the back cover. I think that'd probably be where I go.
We could always use it.
I'll be one of those people you like Photoshop your face on my on my body. No. We needed just your hands, Josh. That's all we needed today.
So it happened the week I was selling the gummy business. I got connected with this guy who's a little older than me, who was starting a hydration business, and it kind of just worked out. Our kind of goals and values and everything aligned, and both liked the business a lot. So kind of started working on that together. But as I started to look into hydration more, and it's something that I've started to care about a lot over the last few years because hydration is a huge issue, like sleep. It's probably a bigger issue. And I was actually talking to a family friend over Christmas who he had colon cancer. He's okay now, but he was saying that because of the colon cancer, every drink of water that he has to put electrolytes in it because his body can't absorb as much water through his colon because they had to remove some of it. And he was just saying that he thought it was a great idea and all of that. And I was like, wow, this has applications beyond just fitness and health. Like people actually need and use this stuff for other things. So that really kind of hit it home for me. I was like, this could be a really big thing. And if you look at Liquid IV, they just sold that business to Unilever, I think, this past summer.
Wow.
And from what I heard, they did very well on that one. And it just kind of shows that it's a huge industry and it's growing as well. And I think consumers are getting more aware of health and
how terrible Gatorade is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they just want healthier products and stuff that's good for them. So if you can create something that fits that need, I think the sky's the limit.
Spot on.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think, I mean, I love Pedialyte, but I also hate going to like the store to buy Pedialyte because I feel like I'm like 10, you know? Or people look at me like I have 4 kids. They're like, you're buying Pedialyte for a kid? Like, no, I need the Pedialyte. Like I drink it. They're like, oh, what? Why do you drink Pedialyte? I'm like, well, because I don't really like a lot of the electrolyte drinks out there. A lot of them taste, subpar. And honestly, I think Pedialyte doesn't taste that bad, especially if you get the grape one.
The grape one is fire.
Have you guys? How does that work for you? Have you tried like the flavor? I know you said that you guys are going to go to the manufacturer. Have you tried any like the flavoring? How does that work with these electrolyte drinks? I'm always like, how do you get it to not taste just like salt?
True that.
You know?
And hey, you're hitting it on the head right now because we're trying to figure that out. We got the first round of samples. I want to say it was like a week ago, and we tried it. We were super excited to try it. Thing tasted terrible. Absolutely terrible. They tried to make the flavor. I think it was like citrus ginger, which an interesting combo to begin with, but there was just we really packed it with electrolytes. And it's an interesting taste and smell because when you're about to take a sip, you smell the citrus very heavily, but when you taste it, it just tastes pure salt. So it's like something weird goes on with your brain, and you're like, this does not match up at all. So I don't know, like this is not good, but we're kind of toying with that. I think different flavorings might go better with a saltier taste. Because if you think of citrus, it's very like sour. Right. And I think when you're thinking of a salty kind of like taste with the electrolytes, you need to match it more with sweet flavor. Yeah. So that's kind of where my head went. But at the end of the day, I know nothing about pairing flavorings and any of that. So that's why we're going out there, because we're going to be able to try like every different flavor that they have.
So what would be your top 3 flavors if you had to pick?
Oh, top 3 flavors. I was thinking, so I know like people eat mango they put like tahini on it or whatever that stuff is. Yeah. So I thought mango could be really good potentially. I was thinking apple could be good because people eat apples and peanut butter all the time, and peanut butter is very salty. And so I think that flavor might go well. And then maybe like a strawberry type flavor.
Okay.
But I don't know. When you think of a hydration drink, I feel like you more so go to something that's refreshing. And lime is like the typical probably go-to for most companies. So I don't know.
Are we gonna make a mojito flavor? Mojito flavor?
Yeah, you were saying citrus. I was like, man, it just kind of sounds like a margarita,
Hey, well, I'll let you know. Maybe I'll try that on Friday.
Hey.
What are your favorite flavors? What would you recommend?
I think the mango would be pretty fire. I think the mango would be fire. Maybe like a pineapple. I know they do like a lot of pineapple jalapeno combos. So maybe instead of like the spicy, you get a little salty. I don't know. I'm terrible with that. I have like such bland taste buds. I have like such a peasant palate, you know. They're like, just give me mashed potatoes and fucking gravy, you poor kid. Yeah.
Pina colada flavor. Woo.
Yeah, that might not be bad.
Hey,
I don't know. That might only be good for like here, Miami. I don't know.
That's
I don't know if they're selling many.
We're thinking Miami flavors.
Yeah, I don't think that they're selling many pina coladas in Austin. You know, I don't know. Maybe they are.
It might be.
Maybe.
You never know. Or maybe there's a Miami line. Hey.
I don't know. I only go every time I'm in Austin. I only go to like the hole in the wall food truck. If your food truck isn't in the middle of like a Save and Pay parking lot, I'm not going to it.
Well, you're gonna have to get that famous. What's that famous sweet Mexican drink?
I don't know.
You know
You should know, bro.
about?
That's
I know. I forgot. It tastes so good though.
bro.
It's not good for you.
The Mexicans are gonna hate you, dude. They're gonna hate you. You're kind, man.
No, I'm Cuban.
Well, you know, Latin.
I'm Cuban.
You know, we gotta stick together.
I guess
You
I
gotta
got the
represent.
mojito.
Is that Cuban?
It's
I
way
think-
more Cuban than.
I think a mojito is. I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. I don't know. He's sitting over here like, what are these idiots talking about? This is what happens
Guys,
when
we're
you.
coming up with a new
This is what happens when you
flavors.
leave us alone.
Hey,
Yeah.
if we come out of this and he tells us, "Hey guys, we use one of your flavors,"
Oh yeah, perfect. I'll take a licensing agreement, no problem. Yeah, royalty check.
Over the contract.
that's what we'll call Josh, so you can have him as a back model for the
It'll be
for the
perfect.
drink.
Yeah, back on the inside of the back cover. That's like what I think I'll probably be best at. $10.
We'll have you wearing some athletic shorts and a shirt, drinking the mojito.
Yes.
Oh, it's great. It's
Yes.
great.
On there.
I used to power. This is how I used to get clients at Equinox all the time. I used to power lift. This might sound a little suspect, but when I was in grad school, we used to power lift. Like we had a huge, big powerlifting team, and we used to every Friday night. We were kind of cool. I have to preface this by saying this. We used to do Friday night tights, where we would like deadlift and squat heavy, and we'd all be wearing tights. So I started doing that when I started Equinox here on South Beach. So I could pick up some
that's
more
right, Todd
clients.
said it. I
Yeah. My manager was like, "Bro, you should start wearing tights. Like, it's like a super gay community down here, like very wealthy gay men in South Beach." And they're like, "You should start wearing tights." I must have picked up like 7 clients, like the first week I
So
tried.
there you
that
go.
out.
You got your tight back model.
Yeah. So if you need me, I got decent calves. The hamstring structure is pretty good.
We'll let you know. We might need you.
Yeah, he's like, I'm never fucking
He's
calling
like,
this
I
guy.
don't know
I'm
what's up with
never
this
calling
dude,
this guy. Like,
Forget that.
yeah.
Wait, do you still work at Equinox?
Nah, I left in May 2018. Mendez probably left like what, a year
I
before
left
me.
right before the week before 2017.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
So I used to go to Equinox
In Dallas.
right out of college for a couple years, but what I found is I would not get anything done when I would go there.
I mean, the weights are lighter. The weights are lighter.
Yeah, but I like, to me, Equinox is like a scene, right? People, I think a lot of people go there to like be seen, maybe find a significant other sometimes.
Down here for sure. Sugar daddies and like like future housewives. Woo.
Yeah.
Ton.
And you can see them across the gym. You can be like, oh, she's definitely gonna be married in like 6 months.
To that member over
Yeah,
there.
to him.
But yeah, I don't know. I just like whenever I would go there, my head would just be on a swivel looking at people. It's like
I used to have to wear a neck brace.
yeah, but yeah.
He's like,
Seriously.
yeah.
I mean, listen, it's definitely an interesting spot. I mean, I couldn't.
Wait. Is that where you met Becca, the trainer?
No. So
Oh,
I'm
okay.
Like complete opposite of an Equinox, which I love. I'm all about like the grungiest possible place to go work out, because I just feel like it lets me focus only on the task at hand a little bit.
Nothing irks me more than when I go in the gym and I just see like mirrors everywhere. I'm like, none of you guys need to look at yourselves, right? Like,
Yeah,
they're like, can you get more like preacher curl benches? Like, we didn't even need the one we had. Like, do curls standing up. You don't need props to like put 45s on and do quarter reps.
My favorite one is the ones that get in the squat rack to curl in the squat rack.
And then are on their phone talking about the stock market. That's what we had a lot down here.
I saw you post about this kind of recently. Look, let's talk about the steel mace for a second.
Okay.
Woo.
Do you use the steel mace?
Me or Mendez? Me? I use it quite a bit. I definitely used to use it a lot more at like the tail end of my Equinox days, beginning of my my like one-on-one personal business career. But then I felt like I kind of started to get to know, like people started to know me more as like, oh, you use the steel mace and like as a fitness coach. And I was like, I don't want to head down that path, you know, because as great as I think the steel mace is, at the end of the day, it's like, it's just a tool, right? Like I have clients who love the steel mace. I have clients who tell me if you ever bring that thing around me, I'm going to walk out and never train with you again, you know? So it really just depends. And I love the steel mace because it does have a ton of benefits. But I don't like how fixated people get on it, just like I don't like how they get so fixated on the kettlebell or the barbell or, you know, only doing body weight training. I think you can get a lot of variety from a ton of different things. But I know that probably wasn't your question.
I think Connor's thinking of a new company to open.
If you want it, yeah. I mean, it's not a bad one. If you need some affiliates, I know I can sell them for you.
We got that on lockdown.
I got one over Christmas because I had been, so On It is headquartered in Austin, and I went to the gym for like a month or so and kind of started like watching some of their content and stuff, and saw that steel mace. I was like, what the heck is this thing?
Oh, it's great.
And got one over Christmas, and I love it. I'm still doing like a lot of the traditional training and working out with barbell stuff and other things, but I think it's such a good way to help build mobility and work a lot of those stabilizer muscles that you don't normally work. So I've loved it so far.
Great. Well, if you want to learn more, so I don't mean to cut you off. If you want to learn more, shameless plug here. I have a free steel mace like foundational educational course with over 120 videos for you to be able to learn. Really? Yeah, right on my website.
I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, shameless plug. The movement coach.
Yeah. I'm gonna go use that actually.
Yeah, it's called the Steel Mace Academy, but it'll teach you, you know, all the grip types, landmark positions, mobility warm-ups, cool downs, flows, complexes, all the foundational movements.
That's awesome. But no, I was in Florida for Christmas, and my brother and I, every other day we would go out on the beach and do a steel mace workout.
How your hands? How's the grip strength?
The grip strength is good. First couple days.
A little rough.
Yeah. But people would walk by on the beach and be like, what the hell are these guys doing? Like, looks like they're training for a battle or something.
Yeah. When I first brought it into the gym, people are like, is this safe? I'm like, it's safe if I use it. If you use it, definitely not. But like, if you want to learn, I'll teach you how to use it safely. But
and everybody already
until then,
at Equinox.
Oh no, when I first brought
a mace and tight pants,
bro, when I first brought them in, they're like, you can't leave those out on the floor. Like people are going to kill themselves. I'm like, you're right. I won't leave them on the floor. But it is a powerful tool, man, for, you know, stability, for mobility, for, you know, learning how to sequence things and stable at different angles and positions that might be unfamiliar to you, right? While also still, like, the thing I really like about the steel mace is it's a little longer than like the steel clubs, you know, which are like another pretty popular unconventional tool. So people who are used to using the barbell more will probably transition a lot easier into using the steel mace than using things like, you know, like steel clubs or Indian clubs and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. And I don't know. For me, I like, especially the last 3 years, I've been super active with working out and everything. And I felt like I kind of hit a plateau and was doing a lot of like typical conventional training. And my thinking has kind of changed recently, especially like checking out the Honest stuff and all of that. And I think if you do conventional stuff, you're going to get conventional results. If you do unconventional things like the steel mace or other things, that's going to take you kind of to the next level and get you those results that you see all these like super fit people with. So I don't know. I've loved it so far, and I've seen a lot of great results and benefits from using it. So it's awesome. I'll definitely check out that website though.
Yeah, awesome, man. Let me know if you have any questions or anything. I'll help you out. Yeah, send me a couple of videos. I'll break down your form and.
Yeah, don't hesitate, man. Like,
the form's probably not there. I will say I think I was a little naive to how hard the steel mace is.
Yeah.
I was going to Lifetime Fitness down here for a bit, and we have a 10-pound one, and 10 pounds is pretty easy. You can whip that thing around. I was like, okay, for my first one, I'm going to get 25 pounds. And
no, sir. No, sir.
I got that one and tried to do like a swing from holding it from the very bottom the first time, and it was like, oh boy,
It's a big difference.
Not gonna happen. But we've worked our way up to it, so it's
yeah. I think the heaviest we both have. I think I'll fuck around with a 25 a lot. I have a 30. I think the heaviest I've swung is like 50 or 60, and that was.
That's got to be crazy.
Oh, it was brutal. I did it on it actually probably like 3 years ago.
We've gone to on it a few times, so we'll definitely let you know because we plan on going out there this year.
Yeah.
We've gone like 3 times to Austin. We're good friends with all the people at on it.
Yeah. Let me know if you go out there.
Yeah, we definitely.
I love everything they've built over there. I think it's really cool, and I kind of like the system. I mean, I have a bad habit, and I think a lot of people I know do as well. If I don't go lift weights or work out one day, I feel like I haven't done anything and like can't go about my day until I do. And I like that they're a lot more about like recovery and mobility and all that stuff. And I think those are things that people really forget about, and that's why you get injured. And I think neglecting that stuff is when you see those plateaus. Because you can only push your body so hard, you really do need to recover. So it's made me more mindful about that stuff, definitely.
Well, you said it best, man. You know, it's being mindful and understanding, you know, what serves your body, what serves your mind, and how do you approach it every single day so that way you don't get hurt and that way you have a better quality of life. My brother, I know we're approaching about an hour now, and I know you're a busy dude, and we really appreciate you spending this quality, awesome time with us, sharing what you're doing, what you've been up to, how consumed you are in the wellness space, which is really amazing, and how that journey started from you, from literally going on to The Bachelor, to expanding, to exiting, to now getting into the hydration and the clothing line, and heck, who knows, we might see a finished product come out of you. So
I love seeing people go all in. Love seeing people go all in.
I want to say thank you, man. You know, seriously, thank you for coming on, and really appreciate you having on here. But before we wrap things up, I want to give you the floor to just let people know where they can connect with you, social media platforms, websites, some new stuff you might be, obviously you told us about what you're working on, but maybe there's events, anything else that you might be working on. And then I know I want to wrap it up with some questions, rapid fire.
Yeah, definitely. No, appreciate you all having me on. But yeah, on Instagram, it's Con Sail Away. If you guys have heard the song,
love it.
Come Sail Away.
So good.
On TikTok.
Hold on, bud. You want to do that one more time because it froze a little bit.
Yeah, it froze a little bit.
I gotcha.
There you
go. Yeah, so on Instagram, it's Con Sail Away. And then you can find me on TikTok. Freeze again?
Yeah, a little bit. Here we go.
Hit us with that TikTok.
Yeah.
All right. TikTok is at Connor Saeli.
Nailed it.
We've been having some fun over there. So, you know, if you want to see someone with bad dancing, go check that out.
Hey, we'll have to do some duets.
Yeah.
We'll have to do some duets. That'd be great.
We're going to have to start doing some dancing tag battles.
Oh, yeah. Are you guys on TikTok?
Yeah, individually and as a podcast. Yeah.
We'll have to send it to you.
Yeah. Let me send that over to me.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
we might not be as caught up as we started putting more time into it now. So,
bro, speak for yourself, man. I've been throwing up in the bathroom for the past month. I'm lying, guys. Don't do that. It's not good for you. It's not good for you. Fit tees and waist trainers. That's the way to go. Right.
Oh man.
But thank you, man. We really appreciate it. It's so awesome to hear, people really putting all their passion into the health and wellness space. We definitely need more people in the industry like you trying to really make a difference and not just out there for $1. So like Anthony said, from the bottom of our hearts, we really do appreciate you coming on, Connor, because, it's always great to connect with people who are like-minded.
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you all for having me.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah. And when we're in Austin, we're definitely going to hit you up for sure. We got to make a trip out there in the next couple of months. So.
Oh, yeah. Hit up the food trucks.
Oh, man. So we'll smash them all. Trust me. And we'll connect you with a bunch of the Anna guys, too, because they're usually the ones that are, like, toting us around, showing us all the local spots. So.
We got you.
Yeah. All right.
Time for the rapid fire question.
Oh, shit. I almost jumped the gun.
All right. Question number one. What was because you did mention you were in Miami one time. What was your favorite wildest Miami experience?
Making it out of here, probably.
I don't really know if I can speak on that one too much,
Ooh.
but I would say I don't really remember much of the trip. So
Pretty
that was
common.
back in college days when we were a little crazier. We've toned down. We're mature now. But yeah, I don't remember much of that trip. I lost all my belongings,
That
including
makes a lot of
phone,
sense.
wallet, everything. But I had my passport. So
I mean, did you really come to Miami if you didn't lose everything in your possession while you were here?
Yeah, seriously,
Including your girlfriend and wife, if you had.
Oh man.
Question number 2. What is your favorite exercise?
favorite exercise? I would say either the assault bike.
Oh, you
right
savage!
I
You're
love-
sick.
Wait, but how on blast are you going on that?
So I used to do intervals of 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off for like 4 or 5 minutes, just
Okay.
going all out. But now I like, and they do this on it, they do like 10 to 30 minutes max calories.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it gets like,
You got to do the 50 calorie challenge. My old manager, who's a good friend of ours, Todd Anderson, has the world record for 50 calories, I think it's 18.6 seconds, and then he did 86 calories in a minute because some guy tied him with no video. So
You don't understand. This guy's
he played fullback at
beast.
Michigan State.
He's a
Like,
beast.
like you're like, oh, Todd, do an EMOM, do a 10 by 10 EMOM, with 315 on the bar back squat. He's like, okay, man, no problem, no warm up. Like, what?
I'll give
Try it out. Let me know.
calorie thing a shot.
Let me know what your time is, man. I fucking dogged it. I got like 49 seconds. He's like, oh, man, it's going to be such a breeze for you. I couldn't walk for like 30 minutes. My knees wouldn't bend. There was so much blood in my quads.
Yeah, I mean, that thing's crazy. It looks easy when you look at it, but you do that thing hard for a minute or two, great full body workout for sure, especially the legs.
Yeah.
Last question. What is the biggest piece of advice you can leave off to all our listeners today in one sentence?
Just do it.
Woo.
Love it.
You heard it, guys. The fame on Nike. Just do it line.
Yes,
Ready?
sir.
Let's go.
Connor, one last time. Really appreciate it. Everybody, make sure you guys go check out Connor, Instagram, TikTok. Guy's killing it in Austin. If you guys are in Austin, hit him up. Boom. We got to check out that clothing line too, for sure.
Let's go.
Yeah, check it out.
Yeah. Until next time, everybody.